Good morning, everybody. My name's Notty. So this is like going to be the start of probably a new lot of videos. So if you don't know me, my name's Notty Mister. I'm a Twitch streamer. You can catch me on Twitch TV/Notty Mister. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, as you probably know if you're watching this. So yeah, the purpose of these new videos is going to be a build of my new lovely classic car. Let's not fuck around, let's have a look at this absolute beauty. So, here it is. We've got this lovely 1972 Beetle 1300. She's a bit of a fixer-upper. But she's cool. I've always wanted a Beetle, and this one came up. So it came up pretty cheap for a complete, like it's totally original. There's loads of Beetles around for sale. None as cheap as this, and there are reasons this one was cheap, which I will show you. But there are loads around, and they've all been kind of fucked around with in some way, like lowered and like weird modifications, and not many totally bone stock ones, whereas this one is completely stock. The only thing I don't like about it is it clearly had a sticker on it that said living, loving, laxing, which is very much like live, laugh, love, which is horrible. But yeah, this one is complete. It's not fucked around with. It's not full of filler. It's not very much metal in it. So yeah, it needs some love. It's definitely got some holes in it, which we will dig into and see how bad it gets. Luckily, I do know some very, very good fabricators who are willing to help me with this. I can weld to an extent. What I can't do is fabricate panels. Like, I can't make this panel. It's beyond me. But yeah, I do have some very friendly co-workers that have offered their services on this, which is one of the reasons I bought it. Had they not have offered that, I'd have probably shied away, because a lot of the welding, I'm going to be honest, is going to be a little bit beyond me. Well, welding not so much, the fabrication side. But what this car does do, and it does quite well, is it does run. Probably going to die now I've said that. But yeah. Oh, it was ambitious, wasn't it? There we go. Look at it go. She's beautiful. So yeah, like when I bought it, the guy it had basically been sat around for about 8 years. His son had it as his first car. Their objective was to get him a car that was very slow and stocked well. So the only modification they have done to this is they've done a disc conversion to the front, which I'm not going to grumble at that. That is 100% something I'd have done anyway, so that's cool. When I got it, it didn't run. So they said it ran up until the point where it parked up, and then it sat there. So I've done a bit of work on it. My plan was actually to do more videos of this right from the very beginning when I hadn't touched it. However, I've been kind of working on it on lunchtimes and shit, so that's not really been that doable. But yeah, so here we are. So I'll run through what I've actually done on it so far. So I've rebuilt the carb, cleaned it up a little bit. New ignition coil, new points condenser, new plugs. Given it a tune, stuck some fresh fuel in it, and it fired straight up. So yeah, happy days. I didn't think it would take a lot. I mean, these engines are pretty bulletproof. I have been out for a drive in it. I actually drove it home the start of this week, which is like a 30-mile round trip, and it didn't miss a beat. It was great. So yeah, pretty happy with that. A few fun little things. Some electrics don't work, wipers don't work, headlights don't work. I do have brakes and indicators. I wouldn't drive it without brakes and indicators. I'm not that stupid. Yeah, but it is what it is. Like I say, it needs a lot of love. We're going to dig into it now. I'm going to get it up in the air and see exactly how much love it needs. Let me just get a torch. So like, one thing I know it's going to need are floors. If you look up under here, you can kind of see daylight down through the floor. So yeah, it's going to need floors, which is fine. It's got, these are heater channels. They tend to rot out. So the thing with this car is it was restored back in like 2002, and it was done really well. I've seen pictures of the restoration. It was, yeah, a proper, you know, good restoration. Oh wow, look. Yeah, that definitely needs floors, eh? Yeah, it was done well, which you can kind of tell, like, if you look, you know, interior wise, it's actually all pretty solid, all kind of nice, all up in there. I think the thing that's fucked this car is that they've just had it parked outside in the rain for like 7-8 years, because all the parts that are rotten are where water's been getting in and it's just been sat. So like this top part of the heater channels is okay. If you pull the carpet up, it's all like quite nice. No massive alarm bells, and in fact, even if, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, I will ripple the interior out properly. But yeah, like even if you look down here, this is all solid. Like you can see it's all been painted at some point. So like, yeah, it has had some love. And interestingly, it almost looks like, yeah, the seats don't recline at the moment. That's another issue. It almost looks like the rear floors have been replaced and they just haven't done the front ones. So I'm gonna get into it and see exactly what needs doing there. Passenger side, again, the floors are, in fact, the floor on this side is much worse. Much worse. This one has completely come away. You wouldn't want to drive too far unless you're planning on Flintstoning it. But yeah, being a Beetle, you can basically buy repair panels for most of it. So yeah, my purpose today is to get it on the ramp, properly assess it, figure out what needs to be replaced, and pretty much figure out if I'm going to be taking the body off of it or not. Right, chaps, I've got it up in the air, and it's pretty rotten, I'll be honest. I mean, we were kind of expecting it. So, actually the back is okay. The back's all pretty solid. I think the rear floors have been replaced. Well, that said, there's no join, so I don't know. Whether let's say, I think the problem with this car is where it's been sat. It's just rotten where it's collected water. Like the rears, I thought the rear tub looked like it had been replaced, but I can't actually see any join, so whether it has been replaced and it's just been done quite well, it's possible. But I do have an issue, I'll be honest. So these are the front floors, as we were expecting. They are fucked. Now this central bit, this is the spine of the car. Now the floors you can get away with. The spine is rotten to shit at the front. Now this, I think this is like the bulkhead. I can't remember exactly what they call this. This is like the, no, it's not the bulkhead. It's something like that. This bit you can buy to weld in as a panel. It's not the end of the world. This, from looking at it, I think the top of it is solid. I'm gonna have to take it. Basically, the body's coming off. That is that is the verdict. It's whether the top half of this spine is solid enough that you can buy this, you can buy like the bottom as a repair section. So it's if the top of it, what I will have to do is take the body off, which is going to be fun, but I kind of half anticipated that. Get the floor pans out, which again was expected, and then start taking this back and see actually in what shape the top of this tunnel's in. Yeah, so that's it. I think the only thing to do is to start ripping this shit apart, and we'll see. What I didn't mention at the start of this video is I do actually work at a classic car restoration place, so like I say, I do have the bodies around me to help. I'm purely mechanical, so I do the mechanical work here. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get some fabricators to have a look. Worst case scenario, you can buy a complete running chassis of one of these, painted, restored and solid, so that might be an option, and then just plonk this body on top. We'll see. Alright, I think that'll be the end of this video then, guys. Well, maybe not, maybe I'll start stripping it next time.